All right, so here we are, the long-anticipated interview with one of the DayZ Development crew members. So, can you introduce yourself?
Hey, hi guys. I'm Scotty, the marketing and brand manager on DayZ. Yes, it has been a while. It's been off. We've been trying to arrange this for a while, just before and after the 119 update. So, been yes, long anticipated.
Okay, let's go maybe with the first question, which is what is the general plan for the DayZ development in the next year?
Oh yeah, sure. So I think we've got into the nice habit of keeping some structured update plan that works for us, at least for the last 2 years. It's came off very promising. So our community would expect similar to what they saw this year and last, whether it will be regular updates with some patches and stability in between. So as we've seen over these last two years, it's around 4 to 5 updates. So going into 2023, DayZ will be supported again.
Okay, all right. Is it going to be supported in the same scale as the last year, you think?
I anticipate yes that we will target so let's say like a major update. Not defined when, but going off the last 2 years, it's normally around August times. What I can say is the first update will be a stability one of the 2023 year calendar, and then others will follow. But yes, there will be one major and one stability, and then the others will be in and around like minor updates, and then supported patches in between.
Okay, so basically, we have confirmed that you guys going to be supporting DayZ for the next year. Do you guys have any information that you can share about even further future, like how long DayZ is going to be supported by Bohemia Interactive?
Not at this time. We're taking it very humbly, step by step. Yeah, the community, and you may hear my dog whining in the background. Forgive me if you hear some crying. I'm not beating her. Neglecting her. She's just a very communicative girl. Um, yeah, going past 2023, we don't know ourselves internally about any plans. We want to structure the 2023 or focus on the 2023 and not go too far ahead of ourselves or go to promise something that we are unable to deliver later down the line. I'm sure our community, is well aware that if we release something ahead of time or say that we will do something, sometimes it's bit us back.
Yeah, what was the famous or infamous saying?
Weeks, not months, I think
Weeks,
it
not
was.
months. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's cool. That's to be fair. That's actually the answer I was expecting for. So that's
Mhm.
awesome. So what do you guys feel like as a development team? What do you feel about DayZ this year? Like it's been one of the best years for DayZ, if not the best in terms of numbers of players playing the game.
Yeah, it broke its all-time record again. It was only like 5 months ago, I believe, of a 58 on Steam, and we're seeing similar fashion numbers across the other two platforms, Xbox and PlayStation. So personally, from my side, I have to a little bit empathize with a few of the past development teams because I've been here just before the Livonia map released in 2019. So I've only seen, let's say, from my perspective, the only good side of DayZ development. I don't know. I do know of some like rocky history that was happening before that I it would be unfair for me to comment on, but all I can say is from my point of view and with the team that I am with or the team that is currently on DayZ, we're only seeing the good side. We're only seeing mm, positive feedback, which is looping back into the development team to encourage them to be more positive and do more and it's a like a vicious. I won't say vicious circle, but it's a circle of development. Once we see that good feedback coming in and the team feel good, then we can do more good, and it just. I want to keep that ball rolling, and I'm sure the rest of the team do as well. It's also nice to see that the team is expanding. Not only would you expect a game of this age to kind of slow things down, it has official and unofficial years against it because of the mod, the early access. But we like to say we're heading into our 9th year in December 2013, December 13th, I believe. So on December the 13th, we're going into our 9th year, and this is how we measuring it in terms of anniversary. So yeah, it's nice to see that we're rolling up, and the more popular it's getting, the more support we are putting in, and the more budgets are going in, and everything around it is just increasing. So yes, I'm very excited to see it this way, and I can't imagine what it would have been like before my time. Before my time, it must have been a little bit rough.
It was definitely
a
bumpy road. Yeah. Yeah, I've been in DayZ from the very beginning, and yeah, I can definitely say that this year, this team is probably doing the best job. But that's my personal take.
Yeah, I gotta give a lot of praise to the team, because they carry a lot on their shoulders, a lot of burden on their shoulders from previous teams. So when there's some comment or here and there saying that, oh, this team is that, or this team is horrible, the current team is carrying a lot of the burdens which I feel shouldn't be accounted for. But but that's the way of life. People see a product or a brand, and they just say, you have a problem, and that's it. But not
just put everything in one sack, pretty much.
Yeah. That's what we deal with. But seeing that the overwhelming good feedback is starting to has overwhelmed the bad feedback. Yes, I'm still looking into it, and Steam.
For example, Steam opinions. Yeah, like it's crazy. Yeah. From really bad to like very positive now. Yeah, that's a big upgrade.
Yeah, it's flipped around, and we're being nominated for the Labour of Love again on Steam. So people are noticing, or the economy is noticing that DayZ is still staying strong. Especially, also, it's a bit of a tangent here, but also our brand awareness or our brand strength on Twitch is still very competitive compared to some of the newer games coming out. In the high to low rankings of viewers, DayZ still giving what you would say competitive titles in our area run for their money as well, which is really great to see in a competitive market.
Yep. Okay. You've mentioned your team, and you've also mentioned you guys as a brand on Twitch. So I actually have a question that just came to my mind. Do you guys think that it would be possible to do in a game like DayZ to do something like drops on Twitch, which obviously gives a lot of popularity and new people to the games?
It's a great question. Yes, it's something that has been on my radar for a long while. I want to do more with the Twitch community and what we're able to do there. It's actually good that you asked me this question, because I was also discussing this recently. There are some difficulties on this side of things. This will require some kind of back-end account system or some kind of logging system, BI account system. It's an infrastructure that we don't have on DayZ, but it is something that is being looked into on our future titles or titles that are being showcased at the moment. So it's a learning curve that we are on, but unfortunately, I believe, if I got everything correctly, it's not the right time to implement this in DayZ's very fragile
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Code base, if it makes sense with
Yes.
you. It's something I want to do, and I recognize it. There are other areas I'm looking into, which are like Twitch Bounty, but that does not accommodate those that are streaming DayZ on a very regular basis. Those that I feel that I say I don't like to use the ambassador tag, but we have a great organic community of ambassadors that do very nicely with us with events and streaming support, and now and again I will go into DMs and discuss, and I want to do more with you guys, whether that's special streaming loot, special characters, but unfortunately we are limited to the structure of the engine.
All right, cool. You've also mentioned your team you're working with. So the question is how big the DayZ development team is roughly, and if do you guys get like also any support from other development teams like Arma, for example?
Yeah, so the DayZ team, it's very hard to put a number on it because there's a few departments that cross over into other departments. So you have video team, audio team, animation team, and a few others, motion capture, marketing team. Even the team I'm in, it's not defined as it is in the DayZ team. I'm in the DayZ team, but it's not defined as the core development team. If it makes sense, I'm like kind of segregated off from it. But that's not to say that, you know, when they're committed to the project for a particular sprint, for those that don't know, a sprint is a commitment of time where you're doing a set block of work. Once you're committed to a sprint, they are in the team. So if I had to put a number, we're around about 15, 20 people constantly working on DayZ, and that's not including the QA. We have our QA involved on that as well. And we have great support, which we didn't really see too much in the past, or at least it dropped off. We have support from animation and a few of the other departments. We are seeing people move from different projects to come and work with us on DayZ as well, which is nice to see. People with skills in, say, like the Vigor team, or people's skills from the Armor Reforger team are coming in and then seeing how things are going. So it's nice to see that we're not only expanding externally and coming into the team, we're also picking a few people from other projects within Bohemia Interactive as well.
All right. Okay. I had a question about any DLCs that if you guys have any new DLCs planned. So that would be like the first part of the question. Do you guys actually have any new DLCs planned in the future for DayZ?
Yeah, I can get straight to the point on that one. No, not at all. We want to keep the focus on our current Livonia map and Chinaris. We believe there's still lots we can do on both of the terrains, and we don't want to, split the player base further on official servers, and keep the focus with our humble team. Keep the focus on the two maps that we are currently pushing and supporting.
Okay, cool. Have you guys never considered you as a DayZ development team and Adam Franco? Have you guys never considered about putting the Mask as a vanilla map? Because it's crossed our mind. You know, absolutely amazing, man.
Yeah, it's crossed our mind, but it's under some terms and conditions on a BI level. There are some conditions that I can't read off the top of my head, but it's something to do with that the map shouldn't be released, and no one on the team should be involved in the creation of the CDLC. So there are a couple of conditions that I don't know off the top of my head, but those two are kind of the blurred lines of it. Of course, it's crossed our mind. There's lots of maps that we would love to see and enjoy, but it's whether we have the manpower to manage them, and the infrastructure behind it. What sizing up would need to be happening. There are a lot of edge cases involved in adding any new map.
Okay. And going back to Livonia, so can we expect like more Livonia Transformations in the future, like new custom locations, etc.?
Yeah, I would like to. I would like to think so. Yes, I think some direction is going back onto Chernarus for the next target update. But yes, I would say we're not finished on both of the maps, and that's why we're not moving on to another DLC. So both maps are likely to have some more added to it.
And now a question about the next year, about the development in the next year. Like, do you guys already know what kind of content you want to push into the game? Like, what's mostly going to be pushed into the game?
Yeah, we have some idea. So to give the community some stuff, we always target some new assets, some newish feature, and then balance it out with a string of bug fixes and central economy changes and balancing. So we like to try and keep this mold on every update, and then scale it up or down, whether it's minor or a major. So with a major, we may see a few new guns, assets, toys, and then with a minor, it would be more like 1 or 2 assets, and then focus on a lot of the fixing. So for the stability update, the first one of every year, we've come to learn that not to expect too much, but to know that we are building a foundation for the rest of the year, if that makes sense.
Okay. Can we maybe I don't know if you have informations about it already, but can I just ask you, like, can I mention a few items, and can you say yes or no if you're planning to add them in the future?
I can probably say no to all of them, but please ask me anyway, because I would like to at least be reminded of what's left on our Trello board.
Okay, so bikes?
No.
Bicycles?
Is that the same category?
Yeah, like enduro bikes, you know, like motocross.
So I'll give you some feedback on it as well. The map is not ready for a 2-wheeled vehicle at the moment. There are still edge cases and a few areas, but to give you a oversight of why, it's not that we're being ignorant or naive or something like this. The animation work and the map work is unforeseeable to see if we're able to get that in, to get that feature in. Yes, it's a high valued item or a high valued feature that we would like to see, but at this point in time, I mean, when I'm saying it's a no for the next, say, 3 to 6 months. It's not in our plans, it's in our minds, but it's not in our realistic plan.
Okay. Aircrafts?
Also, it would be the same condition as the bikes. We want to focus on the cars and keeping them stable, which I believe that we kind of fulfilled this requirement. We've made a step in the direction we want to see an improvement with the vehicles. We're not claiming they are fixed. We've never claimed that they will be fixed. We always claim that we want to improve on the situation and continue improving it. So I believe that we are got there in some state, and we have to do some more with the next patch, and then I would judge the vehicle simulation update after the next 1.19 patch, which is not defined yet, but likely to come in the coming weeks.
All right. So for example, stuff that were in the game before 063, are they gonna, like, the stuff that are still missing in the current game from the game from before 063, such as crossbows, bows, like more crafted weapons?
Yeah, there's I think the Longhorn and the volumetric clouds, the bow, the crossbow, and a few other items. They do pop up on our wish list, and I think I know a few items have been selected for review for the 2023 roadmap.
All right, cool. Because
I won't go into in detail which ones, but yes, those that are kind of common. Yeah, they are being
Okay, so we're basically gonna see like old items refreshed in the new game, and probably some new items as well that we've never seen in the game before.
That's the mold we want to try and keep to. So try and introduce something from Legacy, and then also introduce something new. I think this was the same. I believe this was the same format with the FAMAS and the Org. So the Org was a return, and the FAMAS was a new item, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
it'd be something like this. So something we can take advantage of. So what we did with FAMAS, we took advantage of the new animations that we could go in, and we can apply it to 2 weapons instead of just doing some design for one weapon. We can kind of hit out a few similarities in one ballpark.
Okay. All right. Because I'm not entirely sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think DayZ is currently the only survival game that doesn't have bows and crossbows.
I would probably agree with you. That's the thing. I'm not against them or anything like this. I don't know. It would be unfair for me to try and give some explanation. I know that Tim is streaming tomorrow with Mate on our stream. I don't know if it's going. I believe this is maybe poured in, but it's something we want to do, but not don't have the functionality for it as of yet.
Okay. What about the party bus?
The Wiffle bus. I'm fighting for it.
You better.
I'm pushing it. I'm trying to, but again, it's again the map or the roads are not set up for the bus yet.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm thinking what kind of content. Oh, what about stuff that just? Have you guys ever thought about pushing items into the game that do not harm people but put them unconscious, like a taser gun, which would actually be a really good addition to the game in terms of creating more interactions instead of just PvP.
Yeah, I don't know that answer, if I'm honest. I know the guys are always looking into a weapon analysis and looking for ways to increase engagement, but I don't know the details. I haven't looked into the ammo types or stuff. But I have seen, on the request sheets, things like a taser, or a tranquilizer and stuff like this. But again, we have to stay in the remits of what the map lore is and where it's located and the time zones we're in, and then limit our assets to those particular things. That's why on code locks, I kind of like on console. I would love it for sure. But let's roll this out. How do we get this in game? So, what people think of a code lock? Okay, I got it, but it needs a battery. What happens when the battery runs out? Does your base lock? Does it stay unlocked? There are a lot of other edge cases than just adding a code lock.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There are lots of things to think around.
Okay, I understand. Okay, let's go. Let's hop to the other question. Something that people have been asking me a lot about, and it is the player statistics. Is that going to be fixed in the near future?
In the near future, I wouldn't count on it. I know that it's an issue that we want to we want to resolve. It's one of the things we are looking at, but currently there is no defined date on when it will be resolved. It's something I do want to put a bit of pressure on, because I feel that this is great feedback for the players.
It's not really about the feedback. It's like DayZ is a game where you don't have any goals, so you can reach to a certain point in DayZ, to a so-called end game point of DayZ where you're fully geared, right? And then what? Like what else is there to do? You have a base, you have like all the great equipment. I feel like those player statistics would push people to survive, very, very, very long, and like maybe like make something like breaking their personal records of certain characters, which would be another extra goal in the DayZ game.
Extra goal. It's also a great retention mechanic, because people will stay in longer. I empathize with all the reasons behind it, and I'm not saying no. I just know that it's a delicate part of the game. and it needs more work, and it's something I want to see working, and also for the console community as well, because we also don't see any of the statistics what PC see. I know PC is wrong in some of the cases, that how many kills or
It's
how many
always
days
wrong.
survived. It's always wrong.
Yes.
But on console we don't see it at all. There is no
So I
statistics.
just assumed it's gonna be fixed because if it's in the main, if it's in the vanilla main menu, I assume if it's not been removed, it's planning to be fixed.
Yes, and I would agree with you.
Okay, and another question that literally just came into my mind as I was asking you about the player statistics.
Sure.
So what would come along nicely with the player statistics, in my opinion, in DayZ, would be soft skills. The longer player survives, the more soft skills he earns, like, or develops. Have you guys ever thought about implementing more soft skills into the game?
I know it's come up on discussions, but I don't know the outcome. I know that I've asked about it a few times, as much as the community always are asking me, so I'm always back and forth with the development team on it. And there's the building and the sewing to pristine, and there's lots of nice ideas floating around. But again, it's not something that's, I would say, top of our priority in comparison to the rest of the stuff that is in the pipeline. If that makes sense.
What are the like the most annoying or the major bugs that you guys are planning to eliminate in the first place? For example, you probably know about the player controller and the hand bugs, like troubles with raising your gun, etc., etc.
Yeah, this one comes in many forms, and it is. I have to admit, it is hard to get the repro steps. I don't think anyone has ever give 100% repro step, which means it's even difficult for us to reproduce the bug on our side. There are many. The ADS bug is not one defined bug. There are many bugs associated that fall into category of the ADS bug. So we are working as we can on the ones we know, and in time the others will fall into place. But at this point, it's hard to say if it will be the whole hand bug will be fixed or the whole ADS bug will be fixed. But we are constantly looking into the inventory and hand slot issues. Yes.
Okay. So basically, the most annoying and the easiest one to reproduce, in my opinion, is the one when you want to crouch and then aim through your scope at the same time. That's when it happens most of the time. So I think that should be quite easy to reproduce. So that's just a tip. I was gonna ask you if Bohemia is planning any like official events, but just recently we had the Lights Out event. Is there anything like that coming in the future?
Yeah, so this is another test bed. So what I've been trying to do over the last, say, year is instead of focusing on making events solely from me and trying to organize everything, that I would rather try and support community events. So whether it's the queens of the castle, the kings of the castle, I would try and support with keys or social media presence or community spotlight presence.
Okay, so
This
basically, no, like events not organized directly by Bohemia Interactive, by DayZ Development team, but supporting the community events. Yeah, is
Yes, I
the
would love
biggest idea.
to support community why should I try and reinvent the wheel when Happy Bombs or whoever is doing such a great event and I can just support him on it? It keeps the engagement and players in his ecosystem, and it comes with some further support. Him, her, doesn't matter who is doing it. The Lights Out one was a special one. Also, one template I would like to carry over to next year or next season if possible. This is where I would like to use half of the general DayZ community, or the ones that are constantly streaming, and then I want to try and to encourage though some that are not part of the DayZ community, so we can get some more eyes in and more fresh community members looking at the game, and it pays off more. I think going evidently off the last Lights Out event, we've seen most of the streamers have a higher peak of player numbers than usual, and I would like to see or test if this continues with further supported community events.
Okay. Yeah, like speaking of the Lights Out event, it was a really good one. Obviously, it had some flaws, but like every single event.
Yes.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. But I feel like Bohemia Interactive, DayZ Development, I think you guys made one major mistake.
Go on.
Yeah, spawning the goats in the field, bro. Who spawns goats in the field?
What's wrong with goats in the field?
Well, they should already spawn in my backpack. Yeah, you should probably pass that to the development team. Like, who the hell spawns goats in the field, bro? So what was the reward for the winners of?
Okay,
Lights
so the
Out?
rewards are that the three winners will get a chance to design a base building flag, which can be cut into an armband. So the design has to fit the lore of the game, so it can't be anything like too branded. But there is some wiggle room there. Also, they will get a Zippo lighter, a survival Zippo lighter with a DayZ logo on it.
Oh, like a physical one, IRL.
Yeah, like a physical
Okay.
in real life Zippo lighter. But if those that are interested, I will also be putting. I will also make an order of another, say, 100, and I'll add them to the merch store. So anyone that would like the chance to buy a Zippo lighter, hopefully before Christmas, but I'm not counting on it. I want it, but hopefully before Christmas, because I think it's going to be a great gift for any partner. A survival item like this and it's not an item that you would break. You can drop it on the floor and break the floor. It's a nice merch item, a high valued merch item. So I will be handing each to one of the winners, and then a couple to the founders of the Lights Out event that helped me organize it, or I helped them organize it, or we helped each other to organize it. So yes, I'd be giving some of the admins and the founders of that event a lighter also.
Okay. Because I feel like it's a nice idea where, if someone plays the game, obviously won the event, deserved the reward. But what about the people that have been in the game for such a long time, have been supporting the game in the worst times? Like, I feel like these people should also get a chance of design their own item. For example, I'd give the running man's a wheelchair. In game,
it's a good subject because I've already done an asset list against streamers. So running man's. I designed him his own running shoes.
Oh, I'd give him a wheelchair to be honest.
Retro red, white, and blue running shoes. Minder, I can't remember.
Minder,
OG was
no. Minder's definitely sunscreen, bro. Sunscreen, in-game sunscreen.
I think OG was the megaphone. I wanted to give him his own.
Oh, yeah.
Lax a wig, and I forgot what yours was. Yours was some scope. I wanted to give you your own scope.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. What about the guy who helped you with the Lights Out, the founder of Lights Out, Peroniax Deluxe? You know what I would give him?
What's that?
I would give him an English dictionary, bro. Half of the time I play with him, I have no idea what he's saying.
Hey, but he's getting better. Every stream I'm seeing with you, he's getting better and better. Like, yeah, his English has come along a lot this year.
Yeah, but that would definitely help him.
Okay, dictionaries.
Yeah, just write it down somewhere.
So bringing back the books inside DayZ.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that, pretty much.
Okay, I'll add it to my list. But yeah, that's the stuff that would fit into the streamer loot. But again, yeah, it's some difficulties here and there, but I am looking into some assets that can kind of appreciate those that have been around for a long time.
It doesn't really matter, Scotty. Like the fact that the DayZ has like getting the support it gets right now, it's the best reward for us, to be honest.
And another thing is, there's still, I believe there's still a lot of Easter eggs with this update that no one has found. No one has even touched upon. So there's still lots to find. So those that are bored or at the end game, keep an eye out, because there's still lots of Easter eggs on the map. Things that have been placed on Chernarus and Livonia.
Wow, that's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, there's still lots of things to keep the community engaged, let's say, and Easter eggs is one thing that me and a few others are really pushing in. So it gives that extra element away from the game. Yes, you got the game design, but there is something that makes you question, why is that there? Who put that there? Was this placed? It's one of those
People start
occasions.
thinking if it's a modded location or if it's actually an Easter egg.
Yeah, one has been found recently. It's a rock. It's a rock with a child's drawing on. I won't give too much details about it or where it is. I've only seen one person find it so far. But yeah, it's a rock with some child engraving on, and that's to pay homage to the original map creator of Chernarus, Ivan Bukta. He went to the real location with his family couple of years ago, and he shared some photos of his expedition with me, and I saw this one thing that his daughter did on the rock, and I found so nice about it that I wanted to put this Easter egg in game. So it's part of our 3 pillars, which I like to emphasize on a lot, which is the community, creativity, and curiosity. And Easter eggs are a great way of sparking curiosity and creativity, and everything around it.
Nice. It's little things, but gives the game a soul.
That's it. Yeah.
Something just came into my mind, which I would like to ask you as well before we finish. Sure. Before your favorite and the main question of this interview, I have one more, but there's a problem.
Go on.
I literally just forgot it.
Okay.
Oh, I've got it. Have you guys ever considered a feature that would allow us to move bodies, to move injured teammates?
Oh, it's an interesting one. Yes, it's come up, and to answer your question, yes, we've thought about it, but I haven't seen anything written down, because I believe the first part of it is pulling bodies out of the car. And yeah, I haven't seen any developments since then, but yes, it is coming up, dragging, putting onto shoulder, but then what are the edge cases around that? Can you raise a weapon? We don't have
I feel like you would
weapons.
I feel like you would just be completely vulnerable in that situation.
Yeah,
it's your decision if you want to like move your unconscious teammate into a safe position so he doesn't get finished off, right?
And is it always unconscious, or those that are away from keyboard, for example?
Nah, just unconscious. I don't know, but this is another subject. Like only if a player is in the unconscious animation, like that, the only way you can move his body, right? Not when he's just standing. Or for example, if you just killed a guy and you want to loot him in safety instead of an open field, you should also be able to like drag him in safety or something. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. That there is. I see these, designs flying around. For the community to know, we are not ignoring any of their ideas that come in, whether it's coming on Twitter, Facebook, or in the feedback tracker, which we still highly regard. There will be some improvements to the feedback tracker if those are interested or know how cumbersome it can be sometimes. There are some improvements that should streamline that process as well. So we are listening to all feedbacks. And yeah, if you have any doubts or anything like that, you're always welcome to DM the DayZ Twitter, and I highly regard our community managers to reply within a great time scale as well. So answers that we will pass on, all ideas to the team. That's what I love about this team, if I'm honest. I've been in a few studios. The DayZ team does listen to community feedback. It's a community-driven game, and I know that everyone has their points of view of what DayZ should be, and we are trying to do this balancing act of keeping it, well, solely more prioritizing the survival side, but still doing this crazy balancing act of PvP, base building, settlers, role players, and the general hardcore survival, softcore survival, and then we have to accommodate for the first-time user experience. So that's why we're giving a lot more control on the modding community sides, especially for console, because they're a little bit lacking. They are not lacking. We are lacking behind on the console side of things. So we want to give them more functionality to open up their gameplays similar to PC.
Okay, there's also been a lot of controversial subjects in DayZ recently, such as, for example, inertia, or for example, the damage system, the shock damage system. Is that the question is very simple? Is that a closed case, or is that
No, not at all.
or is it still to be balanced?
It's not at all a closed case. I think a lot of our a closed case. We were still opening up. We have seen the feedback. We would like to reserve the time to measure analytics instead of just going off some feelings or teething problems. We want to give it a chance to roll out, get used to it. I know it's a big change, especially for the veterans of DayZ and their playstyles that they are accustomed to. But for now, we would like to still push on data-driven decisions and see how this unfolds. But to answer your question, no, it's not a closed-cut thing. Like everything in DayZ can change or can balance for the good, for the worst. In some people's eyes, in some others' eyes, it's better. So yes, I do know of those two cases you're talking about, and they're not closed as like, no, that's finished, that's the end of it.
Okay, all right. I guess we can move to the final, and in my eyes, most important question of this interview, and I know it's your favorite question as well. Do you guys have any plans about continuing the DayZ franchise in the future with DayZ 2, for example?
It's a great question. One I can't answer like today fully. All I can say is that we haven't finished on DayZ 1. Yes. And all of our focus will continue on this. And that's all I can say on this subject matter. It's not a yes or a no answer. It's that all of our focus is on DayZ 1. We're not finished with it yet.
Okay, but Scotty, you know, like they know, right? They know.
Everyone knows. No one is stupid. The Infusion engine will empower all future titles of Bohemia Interactive. So I don't think anyone is silly. But all focus is on DayZ 1.
No, yeah. Like if I was in Bohemia Interactive, you know, I'd definitely do DayZ 2.
You know where the apply button is, dude. Come and join us.
Nah, but seriously, I feel like I don't have to feel. It is the truth. It is the numbers. For Bohemia Interactive, Arma and DayZ are the main titles. These are the games that sold the most copies, right? So, yes. So in my eyes, continuing the franchise will only benefit the company.
Yes, makes sense. I agree with you. But if you're asking for my intel right now, it's only that DayZ 1 is DayZ is our focus. We will continue on.
Well, I guess we got to the end of it. I don't have any more questions. Damn, look, it turned dark.
You grew a beard in the time we had the interview.
Oh, you're right. Jesus Christ.
And the World Cup is on as well, so some football to watch. And my battery is about to run out in 10 seconds, so that's also good.
Oh, damn. Right on time.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Scotty, the DayZ Development Community Manager. Yes?
Yes, brand manager. Sorry,
Brand
marketing
manager.
and brand manager. I've got. So those that don't know, we've got community managers in around Lynn and Carolina, and we also have another brand manager that comes and works with us. You see him on stream sometimes, Mate as well. So yeah, I'm the DayZ marketing and brand manager.
All right, Scotty, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all the answers, and yeah, GG, keep it up.
Thank you, and thank you to your community as well. Thank you.
So this is pretty much the end, but I didn't really feel like we got, like the DayZ devs gave us something exclusive, you know, something that they've never talked about in their social medias or on the forums or streams. So I was like pushing Scotty a little bit to maybe get some more juicy informations for us from the development team. And that's what actually delayed the publication of this interview, because I was waiting for Scotty to give me something more. And it took a week or a week and a half. And Scotty did bring some more information from the development team. He said it wasn't easy. It was actually really difficult to get anything from them, which is actually kind of good, because we know what happened in the past. We know how many promises we had, and then they weren't delivered. The community started, you know, just throwing shit at the DayZ development team. So I think that's good that they've learned on their own mistakes. But I believe that an interview that's this long and an interview that's going to be seen by so many people deserve, you know, something a little bit more exclusive. So what Scotty told me a week after the interview is that they're planning a lot of things. They have a lot of targets for the next year, and one of them is going to be the overhaul of the Northwest Airfield. So at some point in the near future, in the next year, we're going to see a new Northwest Airfield, which is awesome, I believe, because it was always the heart of Generous. It was the place where the most PvP happened, and I believe that there were a lot of complaints about the current state of the airfield, being a little bit too big, too complicated, with too many structures, too many places to camp. You know, like there could be 5 squads at the same time on the airfield and no one would see each other. So I think it's a good thing that we're gonna have a new airfield. I hope it's gonna be something that's gonna look like the airfield we had before in 062 and all the previous updates. So that's the first thing that Scotty told me. He also told me that there's gonna be player inertia phase 2.0. He couldn't really expand a lot on this subject, apart from, let me quote, balancing to player movement defaults and expansion of current feature to accommodate environmental outcomes. So this is the only thing that Scotty told me, and the only thing I can share with you. So the player inertia phase 2.0 is gonna hit DayZ in 2023, and he also told me that DayZ is gonna get a lot of new cosmetics for 2023. Obviously, that means a lot of new craftable items, a lot of new clothings, you know, something to personalize your character, something to make it a little bit more unique, I guess, in the world of Generous. So yeah, this is it. This is pretty much everything that Scotty told me after the interview. Please keep in mind the extra information that Scotty gave me is only a very small amount of what they're planning to achieve for the next year. That's also what he told me. So it's not like they gave us, you know, all the juicy stuff, like that's gonna happen and that's it, and the rest of the development is gonna be balancing and bug fixing. No, there's a lot more to come. This is only a small amount of what we're gonna see. I hope you guys are satisfied with all the answers. I know some of them where I don't know or I can't, but we gotta understand that they learn on their mistakes from the past, and I think they said quite enough anyway. Nobody said I cannot have my own thoughts about it. Nobody said I cannot bring on my own conclusions. If you want to know my conclusions from this interview, I feel like the DayZ development is going to continue for at least another 2 years. So I feel like 2023 is going to be supported just like in 2022 in the same caliber. And then 2024 is also going to be supported, but probably not as much as the last couple of years. But I feel like there's still going to be at least 2 years of DayZ development, of supporting the title. And you probably also think what's gonna happen later in the future with the franchise. I believe that DayZ 2 is happening in the future. You might think why, you might ask why. Well, the answer is very simple, because it would be stupid not to make DayZ 2. And I know that Bohemia Interactive ain't stupid, okay? Money, money, money. Alright guys, love you all. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna be publishing a new adventure video, so if you enjoyed it in the slightest, if this interview helped you with understanding the future of DayZ a little bit more, please consider a like, comment, and of course a sub. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.